For him, his career lasted a lifetime, and you'll see it in 5 minutes. Let's go. Tony Ferguson made his debut in a match against the tall Ramsey Nijem. At first, not knowing the fighters, it was safe to bet on Ramsey, but Tony quickly made himself felt by putting out the light to the Palestinian. Already in the second fight, Tony proves that you can't leave the ring healthy with him. Poor Aaron Riley breaks his jaw on El Chuchui's fist. The UFC was surprised by how easily Tony deals with rivals, and gave him the experienced Eva Edwards. He was already able to stand up to the end, but to kill, alas, young Tony, in order to kill, you need to go out and die in the ring. After that, he meets the talented Michael Johnson. In battle, he is just a god, and El Chuchui decided to kill him on his own territory. It was a mistake, the wrestler needs to use his trump card. Perhaps fans love him for these experiments. Johnson destroys Tony. Mike Rio, an ordinary guy, attacked Tony like crazy. First he let him go to the counter, then sent him to the stalls. Tony thanked him for the gift with a suffocating reception. Japanese champions, in fact, are nothing when they meet serious rivals. Later, Tony was offered to perform. Katsunori Kikuno quickly changed his mind, but there's no getting away from El Kukui. Veteran Danny Castillo decided to beat the rising star before leaving and surprisingly gives an equal fight. As a result, his disgruntled face says a lot. The next opponent was Abel Trujillo. I have never seen him agree with the decisions of the judges, even when he lost outright. The essence of the fight began unexpectedly and successfully for Trujillo, but Tony waited until the batteries ran out and artlessly strangled the tired brawler. The man who scared the fans of Khabib Nurmagomedov, but Tony showed what Gleison Tibau is. The next fight was the fight of the evening. Tony gave Josh Thompson a meat grinder, cutting his forehead and hitting him at least 100 times on the head. But unlike Trujillo, Josh turned out to be a man and patted Tony as a sign of respect. Finally, Tony meets someone who looks like himself. Edson Barbosa is a tough nut to crack, and he can also be chopped until all the blood pours on the floor. I would call this fight one of the bloodiest. Lando Van Atta entered the ring posing as Roy Jones. Joking with a monster is not serious and a bad idea. Tony is tired of these jokes, and he punishes with strangulation. Rafael dos Anjos tried, but it wasn't enough. Tony gathered his strength after the first lost round and won by unanimous decision. Young promising Kevin Lee started for health, and finished in the triangle. I haven't seen Tony like this for a long time, and even in the first seconds. He had to run away from a pumped-up Anthony Pettis. But everyone, as if, does not follow Tony's fights and is surprised when he wins the fight, counting on endurance. The next fight was against Donald Cerrone. Tony smashed his face, so his eye just closed with a hematoma. Cerrone asked for help, and then suddenly said, "Don't stop the fight." If he wanted to continue, he didn't hint at the end of the fight, but it's still a very cool fight in the style of, fill the ring with blood. Now it's time for the sad part. Real fans don't have to watch this part, because Tony will continue to suffer 5 defeats in a row. And Justin Gaethje will start this series with a victory over Tony and force him to give up. After Charles Oliveira defeats him in the stalls, maybe it's time for Tony. As they say, we're all not eternal, we're all getting old. The next one who interrupted Tony was Dariush. Dariush, who broke his leg, made Tony writhe in pain. Fans always hoped for an ending, but no miracle happened. The judges gave the victory to the Iranian. It seemed much sadder, and then on the 17th Sankuda there is a front kick from Michael Children. Nate Diaz hammers a nail into the coffin of this sad story.